claiming the blah. Let's go proudly claim my children. Dear Philadelphia, this is how I'm feeling. Dear Philadelphia, this is how I'm feeling. And I ain't trying to preach. I was
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Everything Philly Podcast, your platform for information, entertainment, and hitting some hard topics. I'm Sharice, and today we have a special guest. I'd like to introduce Mr. Eric Allen, known as EA, the lobbyist without politics.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Welcome.
in the building.
Thanks for having me.
EA is here because what?
I don't know. Why is EA here? I haven't even been formally introduced.
You haven't?
Really? No, it's my first time seeing him. I've heard the name, but that's it.
Mr. EA. Miss Sharice.
Sharice?
Mr. EA.
Nice
Not
to
Miss
meet you,
Sharice.
Miss Sharice.
Nice to meet you.
Well, I haven't
This is
seen
Johnson.
you. I watched a few of y'all podcasts, a few episodes, to be very honest. And
He
I would
said a
like
few.
to watch a few more. You know, time is money, so I'll hurry up.
Listen, we had did a podcast with Wadsworth Uptown, and I feel like I touched the nerve with Mr. EA.
You
So
did.
we had to get him on here, give his perspective. You know, I like to start a little controversy. You know, get in the mix, get a little laughs going,
I wish you would have had Wadsworth here so I can educate
so you go at each and every
my
last one of them.
fellow uptown brothers and
Yeah.
sisters.
Give us what you think they don't know.
Well,
Wait. First, EA is from where? Because if you just don't know the history of EA, you would say
Right,
EA.
you're
He must be
Erie
Erie
Avenue
Ave.
because of
Yeah,
Gilly.
You're
No.
right.
I'm born and raised uptown my whole entire life.
Uptown meaning.
Uptown, West Oak Lane, Mount Airy, Wadsworth, Germantown, East Oak Lane, West Oak Lane.
All
Okay.
in one.
Borderline Chestnut Hill. Okay.
Okay. Give us your perspective.
Well, I was
About
born-
Wadsworth.
Wadsworth, let me go right into it. No sugarcoating. I was watching a lot of the friends that I grew up with. And and I can say I was appalled or disenchanted when I seen Dwight, Super OG, sitting there. And as you know, some people said, no, they wasn't saying that Wadsworth wasn't a part of Uptown. And I'm gonna say, yes, they was. From my opinion. So I did my research because, you know, I like to speak with facts. I have a lot of empirical knowledge of journalism work. So I hopped on the computer didn't take me no long because I know buzzwords and I know what to look for. So may I introduce what Mount Airy, let me tell you where Uptown came from first. Uptown came from Georgie Woods and Sid Booker, Uncle Sid. Back when they had the Uptown New Tech, the ladies used to look at them. They dressed a little different, maybe smelled a little different. Maybe they had Dracar Noir before it came out. I don't know what kind of cologne was out back in the 60s and the 50s. I don't know. But the ladies used to say they was a little dressed different and they were a little well-mannered. And they used to ask them, where y'all from, Uptown? And they used to point Upper North, which if anybody is not from Philadelphia or not familiar with the Philadelphia area, coming north from downtown Center City, coming up Broad Street till you get about, before you get to Lehigh Avenue, to be exact. On the left-hand side, there was a place called Uptown New Tech where the famous Titty Pendergrass performed, Patti LaBelle, Stevie Wonder, and I can go on and on. The ladies used to say to Uncle Sid Booker and Georgie Woods, which Georgie Woods was one of the first radio advocates in Philadelphia, AM radio at the time, said that Uptown section was pointing up towards Broad Downey. So I want to get into Wadsworth. So I'm going to read facts. And
What
I'm
his
gonna-
notes with him?
and- absolutely. And I'm crossing my legs, but not crossing my legs on this. First of all, do y'all know what a corridor is? For the educated people, look up what a corridor is. Okay? You got that? All right, bet. Wadsworth is a commercial corridor in the East Mount Airy neighborhood of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Wadsworth Avenue and Vernon Road corridors are half a mile apart. And Vernon Road, being a block of shops and residents, a block of shops and residents. Okay, I'm gonna read a little faster. The name Mount Airy became popular in the second half of the 19th century, before you ninjas was born, and your mothers and fathers, and full mothers and fathers. The neighborhoods, surrounding neighborhoods developed. The area was previously part of German Township. Got that buzzword? Which was founded in 1683 by German immigrant Francis Daniel Pastorius. All right, Mount Airy is a name of a greater neighborhood started to take hold in the later half of 19th century as surrounding neighborhoods began to develop. It was once part of original German township founded in 1663. Backing up, I did a little bit more. German immigrant Francis Daniel Pastorius, who purchased 15,000 acres from William Penn. Now, I'm going to get into this, the Wadsworth. Let me go into the Wadsworth because I'm going to leave this stuff. I'm going to leave this as a blessing. Mount Airy history. See that? Zoom up. All right. Mount Airy's rich history dates back to the beginnings of American William Allen Justice, Chief Justice of Colonial Pennsylvania and financiary of State House Independence Hall. Built a country estate in 1750. You ninjas wasn't born. On the site of what is now United Lutheran Seminary. He named it Mount Airy. Wasn't no Wadsworth, wasn't no Wessel Lane, wasn't no Germantown. Okay? Named it Mount Airy, which eventually lent its name to the surrounding community. Mount Airy is a name of greater neighborhoods started to take hold in the later half of the 19th century as the surrounding neighborhoods began to develop. It was once part of the original German township founded in 1683 by German immigrant, already said his name, 15,000 acres he purchased. The Native American Trail, which ran from the Delaware River. See, let me get into the Wadsworth. I'm trying to find that for you real quick. And I should have highlighted, which I would normally do. But
You speak like Busta Rhymes.
let me just say
Like
this.
Busta Rhymes.
Because I read this and I'm going to leave this. So if anybody want to get copies of this, they're going to be here.
Challenge.
They're going to be here.
Challenge.
So you can do a fact check and you can know your history. Wadsworth, just like the phrase uptown, came geographically later on. Wadsworth had a total different name. It's in here. Like Germantown came from first of all, they was all Germans. They was all Germans. We start moving up here, and the facts is that Wadsworth and Mount Airy was supposed to be like a King of Prussia mall. Based on facts. Based on, no, I really want to look at the pictures back then and see how the houses were. They say there were corridors. Corridors. I didn't say it. That ain't coming from me. That ain't my opinion. So I'm going to just say it. Wadsworth, Mount Airy, East Oak Lane, Germantown. You got people from Germantown that say Germantown is not a part of uptown. Because I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say they're ignorant because they might take that phrase or that word as being negative. But the word is a word and it has a meaning. That means you have no knowledge of what you're speaking of. And you shouldn't say things that you have no empirical knowledge of, experience. So I was born and raised. I didn't come from South Philly. I didn't come from Southwest. I'm born and raised uptown my whole entire life. And they used to call it Germantown. Now I'm glad they call it uptown. And we one of the ones that start putting up the U. We did. We started using that. And Wadsworth is a part of uptown. And it's not a suburb. Philadelphia doesn't have a suburb. It's the only city in the United States of America that does not have a suburb. Chestnut Hill is not Philadelphia. And I'm going to leave it right there.
I think you took that whole message wrong. I really do. I have to go back and look at that whole episode again.
You do.
And see somebody that said, because I was into the thing because, we represent Wadsworth.
Well, remember, I was a watcher. I was watching
But
while
you,
you was
but you
podcasting.
already had your motive set. But you heard Wadsworth.
No,
You ain't
because
hear
the old
Uptown,
before I seen it, the old heads called me.
and they said
Old
that
heads that's close to 60 years old called me
and said
and
that
say,
we
EA, they misrepresenting Uptown. I'm gonna be specific. And if you ask me to
misrepresenting
say who
Uptown.
said it, I will.
No, we don't want that.
No.
No, they ain't about that. It ain't about
Because
that.
they
Ain't about-
wanted to
they
come
gotta
on
come.
the
They
podcast
have
and
to come
talk
on.
about it.
They have to come
wanted,
on here.
and I
They
want
gotta
to come with them.
They got a seat
And
right
they
here.
my super OGs.
Matter
and
of
I'm
fact,
coming with them.
you need to bring them, and we
I
gonna
am.
bring
I can't
Dwight,
wait.
and we gonna bring a couple more people, and we gonna debate. You know what it's gonna be? Somerville against Wadsworth.
Ooh,
Uptown
I'm
battle.
from Wessel Glen.
Well, it's gonna be an
Let's be
uptown battle.
geographical.
It's gonna be uptown battle.
Let's do it.
Because
Let's do it.
we are definitely a
Well,
part of
according
uptown.
to the statistics, Mount Airy was before Wessel Glen, Somerville, Germantown. It was Mount Airy. So Mount Airy is the original household keeper
No,
for
no.
all of us.
And back then, we used to say Wadsworth. I mean, we used to say Mount Airy. We didn't even say Wadsworth back then. We used to say Mount Airy. We from Mount Airy.
That's true.
That's all we used to say.
What school
But-
you went to?
McCluskey, Leeds,
Me
King,
too. Me too.
Roosevelt.
See, people can't speak unless they went to those schools. Pennypacker.
Yeah.
If you ain't went to a uptown school, how you gonna tell us? We
So-
went to uptown schools. I got kicked out of every school in District 6.
Wadsworth didn't take effect until we started hanging in McCluskey schoolyard. And that was our little safe haven. And that's why we started saying Wadsworth, because we gathered as unity. Because at that time, we were still going around warring with different neighborhoods.
And
Well, we
honestly, that
wasn't-
was the only
it wasn't
playground
the
y'all was allowed to be in.
No. Some
No,
people,
out
some
of
people.
respect. No, out
Some
of
people.
respect. We was only allowed to be in Simon's playground.
Some
Do you
people.
know Somerville was the only neighborhood that really came to another neighborhood because they was deep and partied with other neighborhoods. Somerville came to Simon's. Y'all remember the Simon's parties?
No question. No question.
You talking about 84, 85. We talking about Dancing Skates. Where was it at? Broad Alley. That's Somerville. You know? But no, I didn't misconstrue what they were saying. I heard verbatim what they were saying.
So you
And
call
after
it-
the fact. And
so you
those
call
same
it-
people say, they do ask them. If you call them today, they'll say, yeah, Wadsworth is not a part of Uptown. They saying it. Not all of the guys that was on the podcast.
So you saying my big head OG said that Wadsworth ain't part of?
No, I ain't gonna say
Uptown?
the white said it, but he was amongst the couple. Let me tell you what my man Sharon Byers said, who from Uptown, my man. Sharon Byers said, EA, you judge people off their 5 friends. And I said, why 5? He said, because most people don't have 5 friends or associates. He said, and if they hang around 5 people on a regular, they are of those 5 people. That had validity like a lot. It did. Because we were talking about a couple friends of ours that may be on drugs or not on drugs. And I was just saying, you got to hang around like the religion say. You hang around a perfume merchant, people will say that you smell good. You hang around a locksmith, people going to say you smell like burnt metal, which is offensive. You know?
Mm.
So I don't mean it, I'm Mr. Wadsworth. I don't mean it,
Mr. Wadsworth all
Because
day.
listen, I'm from Wadsworth too.
You're not from Wadsworth.
I'm from Uptown.
You from
That's a
Uptown?
part of- that's Wadsworth.
No, you from Uptown.
I have put more reckon for Wadsworth than you and anybody else from Wadsworth.
I don't know that.
I'm just saying. I have a
I
right
don't
to
know
say
that.
it. I love Wadsworth.
You better love Wadsworth.
I'm just saying.
You better love. That's why you sitting here right now.
I'm just saying. I speak for Wadsworth, man.
No, listen, and I'm glad you do. But listen, you ain't get Mr. Wadsworth though. You ain't get that. What he didn't get?
Wadsworth's
Finest.
finest.
Wadsworth finest.
You didn't get that.
Who got that?
Who got that?
You asking me who is Wadsworth's finest?
Who got a certificate for being Wadsworth?
plaque.
A plaque.
Oh, you did.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
No, you did not.
Your man
Let me
did.
see. Who, Joe Bread?
No.
Who?
Rob the
Ebo.
Gov.
Rob the Gov?
Yeah.
Rob the Gov from Somerville.
But he got Wadsworth finest.
So not to discredit what Rob Gov got. So whoever gave it to him didn't have any empirical knowledge. So that's when you or Rob the Gov should have stepped in and said, hey, Rob the Gov is from Somerville.
That's what Rob the Gov. You must have watched that podcast.
No,
You
I
must have-
did.
that's
Only
what I'm talking
watched a
about.
few.
A few.
You know how many
You just-
podcasts?
you
You
got
know
40-something
how long I've
more
been
to
doing
go.
my podcast?
Hello.
9.5 years. Have you ever watched one of mine?
Never
No.
heard- You never called me and said nothing about
I
it.
ain't supposed to.
Yes, you do.
No, well, you're right, because people need direction.
Yes, I do.
But seek and ye shall find. I found yours.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
They called you.
But they still found it. They sent me the link. They
Nobody
brought me to the
called us and
well and
sent
I
the
drank
link.
the water.
Well, I'm asking you to invite me to the link.
Say that then.
That's
Well,
it.
I have a lot of episodes, and I'm not going to. I'm just happy to be here with you guys because, and I think you got a dope co-host. She's really amazing.
Yeah,
And the reason why I say
here.
that because,
That's the only reason you here. What happened to me?
well, listen, well, you different. Queens, as I said it before the show, queens breed kings,
All day.
and it's such thing as cause to effect.
All day. Definitely. And you got to have some kind of knowledge to get somewhere in life, or you're gonna be stuck forever.
Hey, man, hey, listen, man, drop and give me 50, and I ain't talking about bills.
You used to be
That's
a
a
rapper.
whole. I stopped rapping in 1983 when cocaine was given to me, not in the usage I was selling. Something that I hate to talk about, but as Oprah said, a person or a man or a woman that does not know where they're going, they don't know where they came from. They don't. Therefore, they do not know where they're going.
But that's because that's the reason why you're creating your own legacy now. Because we're not going to go by what we used to be. We create
Correct.
what's ahead of us.
Correct.
When you gain that knowledge.
Correct. And it took for
Insight.
me to go to jail. And that was one of the best universities I could have ever went to. And I came home November 98 and I went to Temple. I went to Rosemont College, went back for management. You know, people think, what do you do, EA? I'm a sales manager and compliance. And I wish that somebody would have introduced me to sales back in 98, but I went into collections. But collections got me into sales because salesmen make the most money in the world because everything has to be sold.
No question. No question. Mr. EA, listen, I don't know how you wasn't on this podcast in this hot
I'm
seat
glad, man.
months and months and months ago.
I'm telling you, I still see all of them sitting there. Let me get off the Wadsworth thing.
No.
Man, so we up Wadsworth, and I love Wadsworth. Do you know where Wadsworth, the name, came from?
Nope.
I'm going to give you a guess. I'm going to give you 3 guesses. Is it Asian? Is it Greek? Or is it Jewish?
I have
Or
Jewish.
German? What do it sound like?
Wadsworth.
Worth. What is
Jew.
worth?
Money.
Google it. Google it real quick. What is the name worth? Wadsworth. Who is Wadsworth? You know, Wadsworth was a person. Do you know Philomena was a lady?
Facts.
I'm gonna say Jew.
Was. Yep.
Jewish,
The
right?
average people around here were Jewish and Germans. That's where the names came from. And we run around talking about we from Wadsworth.
All day. All day.
You are. Well, I'm gonna
Listen,
tell you like how
all
the old
the-
folks used to say, you from your mother's womb.
definitely. I love Miss Sissy Woon. I ain't
love
never
mine
taken
too.
nothing
Rest
away
in
from my
peace.
mother,
Right,
baby.
absolutely.
That's the queen forever. Listen, Mr. EA, I'm gonna stop saying Mr. EA because I'll never hear nobody call you Mr. EA. That's trying to take away from you because you're
know-
old and new.
Right. Because
And
I'm
that's a
outside.
blessing. That's because you're outside.
I'm outside.
You're there.
You know what they mean when they say they outside?
What do you mean?
To me, it mean that I'm conscious. To them, they may mean that they outside having fun.
Mhm.
I don't. So when you're outside, you better play defense. Because the best offense is the best defense. You better look both ways before you cross the street.
You owe me a video. You know that, right?
I owe you a video?
Yeah, you owe me a video. You called me. Well, you got Joe Bread to call me and come down. What park was that we was at? That was in the county, wasn't it? When you had your young boys out there doing the video and you told me to bring my car down there and y'all did the video.
You
on the
know
basketball
what?
Court.
That was my little cousin Bruno Brown video shoot.
And you said when it get edited and it's ready to go out, you're gonna send it to me. I never received
Oh
it.
my goodness, that joint out like shout.
See, that's what I'm talking about. People.
No, you're
See-
right.
See, now if he was from Wadsworth, he would have said, "Let me take care of Rob."
But I'm from Western Glen. So I said, let me take care of EA. I mean, I got knowledge of self. Self come first. And I ain't selfish. Because you got to watch that self.
Sometimes it's not that bad to be selfish. When you get to the extreme of being greedy or gluttony
Hmm.
just for yourself, then is it bad because
Well,
you
that's a
have to.
bloodsucker then.
Yeah, because you have to look out for yourself in order to be able to look out for somebody else. You can't give and not have anything. There's nothing for you to give later on.
Rob, I gotta admit to this. I used to walk up here to Wadsworth to the house parties. I I was the sugar honey iced tea in the house parties. I was Grand E. And I never forget, because Wadsworth did have better house parties.
We had
Why? Because the parents had money.
we had Cosmic Ace.
Well, yeah, Cosmic Ace. Go by the name of Cosmic Ace. I got to be the fly brother rapping in the place. That was his specific rap. But we had Cosmic Cab.
Y'all had Cosmic Cab. That's when the block party.
We had Grand Tone.
Y'all had
Somebody stopped the world because I want to get off. I was on the U-Haul truck. I was a rapper. They let me sit on the U-Haul truck. Kid Destroy. Bam, 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 bam. The beatbox Wonder Boy. White Boy Clinton.
You gotta love her.
Down Dunham. Astro. Come on, I can go on and on. You know?
You got a lot of history.
I do. And because I always wanted to be a rapper because I watched Run DMC and them come out 3 years later after I stopped rapping. I never forget saying, damn, LL Cool J, dope. But I had the money, so I was just going to buy. I bought me a leather blazer.
And
I ain't had to buy them four striped Adidas no more from Pickwell that my mom gave me. I went and got me some. As a matter of fact, the store was, what was the one we used to break our neck to go up Jenkintown? That was the only Jewish store that had Adidas. Up Jenkintown. It just left about right before COVID. Come on, Mr. Uptown Wadsworth. It's closer to you than me.
I only know what's on Wadsworth.
What was that store? Oh my goodness. Somebody gonna say it. Yup, that's it. Y'all know it. But it wasn't too many stores, even before Philly Locker Room. We didn't have too many stores. Way before the Cheltenham Square. Way before the Palmieres.
I'm trying to think of that damn store.
Me too. So I'm trying to keep the conversation going. Way before Palmieri Joe's. Before the Palmieres, the old heads used to wear silk taper shirts and Louis Raphael slacks. Yeah.
You going back.
Bernie Brothers.
How did you and Gilly and Wallow become so tight?
Me and Gilly got tight when I first came home from jail in November 98. A friend of mine who was a friend of his, Tino, and Yazid. Yazid is one of the top barbers uptown. A lot of guys forget about him when they name Lightfoot, Musa Master Cuts, and a lot of guys that really can cut hair uptown. Yazid was one of the first popping barbers uptown.
What was he cutting at?
Brickyard. He was cutting back Brickyard. Back to Hollow to be exact, in his basement. And then him and Lightfoot had a battle. That was about 86, 87, somewhere around that time. But I came home from jail and the Major Figures was having a release party down South Street. So my man like, yo, let's go to this party. This young boy named Gilly, man, he hot. I'm gonna introduce you to him. A couple of your homies from South Philly gonna be there because he from Fifth Street. A lot of people don't. Gil, he from Erie Avenue, but he's born and raised in Fifth Street Projects. Turned 3 years old, moved down Erie Avenue, kind of like my story. So make a long story short, I met Gilly there. I'm like, who is this young boy over there? And the first thing I seen him in was Prada sneaks. So me coming home, Uptown was the most flyest dressing guys in the whole city. I've been through everywhere. South Philly was pretty good dressers too. But we was really put it on. They used to laugh at us for wearing button-up shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And Uptown boys, I wish I had a button-up shirt on. We always button our shirt all the way up to the top, even to the neck. And the people used to be like, why y'all button it? To this day, I still do that. And I'd be like, because it's symbolic. It feel like I got a tie on. So if I button the button up all the way up, it make me feel like I got it on. So me and Gilly, I used to push state property first. A lot of people don't know that because of Roller. Rest in peace, Roller. Roller was, him and Sadiq had a company in Sherm Byers before Mark Byers. had a company called Black Friday.
Black Friday.
So when I came home, Sherman, everybody, oh, your man and them buzzing, they doing this. So Short Dog and Roller picked me up from the train station, the Greyhound train station, and November 98, to be exact, in a Maybach. It was Jay-Z Maybach, and I was scared to get in it. Because I'm like, y'all not taking me to the halfway house. In that car, y'all not making me look like I look like a drug dealer. Because I was afraid. So they like, no, this Jay-Z Benz, and I remember the name, but I was hype about DMX. Because DMX had just came out. I'm like, no, who the boy was like, he in the dog, and all that, just starting to, so I was hype about that. They like, no, Jay-Z, yo, he got a label. And my man Short Dog from 77 for No Guns, Short starts saying, no, man, they plugged in, but Roller don't like the music game. Da-da-da. They about to grade sign this boy named Beanie Siegel. Eve that hang down there with G's and them down 77 to drink the 40s. I'm like, Eve, no, I'm not trying to be funny. She used to hang on Ogon Avenue drinking 40s with the 40 boys. Now she a billionaire. So make a long story short, when they introduced me to them and I seen who they was, I'm like, oh, Beanie Siegel. And I start drifting away from Rockefeller because I start liking Sean John. Oh my goodness, no Diddy. So I used to wear Sean John on a regular. I used to break my necks to go get them $215 Macy's velour sweatsuits because I started pushing major figures. And me and Gilly got tight. I went to Gilly and I said, Gil, man, you the only one ain't helped me do a concert yet. And he looked at me like, why should I? I was like, because I'm asking you. So he asked my man, who this old head all aggressive? I like that though. Because I was serious. I'm like, what you mean? Drug dealer mentality. What, I am? What? What, I'm from Ogans. OGZ, Organized Gangster Zone. The ones that used to beat up Wadsworth. No. Just having a little fun with it. So me and Gil, we've been tight since 2000. We never looked back. Gilly the Kid started $1 million worth of game when he was doing a character called Silky because of Ving Rhames. Ving Rhames gave him a couple shots when he put him in, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle and a couple guys in some films. And Gil used to practice outside offset with this character called Silky. And we used to just think about all the drug dealers and everybody that's in the city. And at that time, I was married to my ex-wife who owned Forte Unisex Salon. Big up to Forte Unisex Salon. Still one of the poppin'est salons uptown.
Shout out.
And it just got kind of crazy, but I'm going to go into a little phase of Gil. Salute Gilly the Kid and Wallow. Wallow just came on about 5.5 years ago.
My God.
And Gilly's been taking care of us for a long time. We used to get $4,000 off features, and Gil used to break us all off. You talking about a lot of grown men. So salute to Gil and Wallow. And let me just say this on this podcast, because I never said this before. And I'm going to say it exclusively right here. Stop worrying about what the... Can I cuss?
Give it to him.
Stop. I'm gonna keep it professional.
Cusses all the time.
Stop worrying about what the freak Gilly is doing for EA. EA makes 6 figures working. Gilly and Wallow take care of me. I don't ask for anything. There's nothing needed. I hustle on my own. But if I do need anything within the United States of America, they and Cosmic Kev have it covered. So stop asking me and stop feeling entitled to people's success. And yes, if somebody's very close to you, if they're successful, somewhat of such success is supposed to be able to rub off on you, but it should not be handed to you. You should hustle for it, earn it. You'll respect it more.
Wise word. Wise words.
Wise words. Up Wadsworth. I respect Wadsworth to the third power because y'all had the best house parties up here and the best looking chicks. Wadsworth had the best girls with the triangle earrings. That's why I used to they tie in a bunch of other ones up here. Chelsea too, before she was a prison guard. Chelsea, my dog. Yes, And a lot of the people from Wadsworth, I can name them all, right? Carnell, you know what my best friend at Wadsworth was? Carnell.
Carnell?
When we went to Leeds, Carnell was one of my best friends in Leeds. Joe Bread, still one of my best friends. Pray for Bread. You know, I keep it 100, but I ain't gonna have a topic of discussion about Joe Bread and what nobody else is doing. But I will say that we all have a backyard, and we all come from Wadsworth, West Oak Lane, Mount Airy, Germantown, East Oak Lane, Broad Downey, and it's all a part of
Uptown.
I hope I clicked.
It's still coming.
And yes, Rob, watch it again. So you can say, "Oh wow, I didn't see that."
And I'm gonna invite you back with the old heads.
Please, because I love my old heads.
We're gonna have a reunion right here to show these young heads what the old heads could do.
I'm going. What's her name again? I'm sorry.
Sharice.
He said, "What's her name?"
Sharice.
And he gave you
Mrs.
the best.
Johnson.
No, that's not Miss Johnson. Mrs. Johnson. Can you please? Because I don't expect Rob to do this. We were all taught by a woman, so I'm going back to the basics. Can you please make sure these brothers get a copy of this history?
Absolutely.
It's facts, so they can read it and not think that EA was just making up anything. Let me smile.
I got you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is a beef. This is a good beef.
Well, let me read this one. On October 4th, 1977, the only Revolutionary War battle fought in Philadelphia soil centered on Chew Family Mansion, Cliveden and National Historic Landmark on Germantown Avenue.
On the corner.
The Chew family. Do you know that Chew Avenue was a family? I'm educating y'all from Dogtown.
This was more fun than I actually thought it would be.
I'm just saying.
Really did.
I'm here to, because I did my research, and I always wanted to tell these stories outside of Philly Uncut. We do documentaries on Philadelphians, and you don't have to be a celebrity. All you have to do is be a mover and shaker or a lobbyist like myself without the politics.
Without the politics.
And why do I call myself a lobbyist? Because we need to put brothers like us together and put boardrooms together so that we can push the narrative. And the narrative, Rob said it. He said he missed it. And what you miss, Rob?
I miss the unity. I miss our old days where everybody just come together.
But we still got it. You know what? The separatism came? You know when it came?
When
we start denouncing things. Why are we denouncing the police when they're our family too? They're just like the firemen. They're just like the postal workers. They're just like when you go into McDonald's drive-thru, your child, your son, your daughter, your nephew, your aunt, your niece. Why are we denouncing? We got to get back to unity.
Definitely.
Because do you know what the world would be like without no police? We already got perverts. And Diddy, your apology, they say it wasn't sincere. And I don't think they have a right to say that it wasn't sincere. And I do think somebody gave you some wise wisdom to talk about it. But for any man, for any man that thinks it's okay to indulge in a sport called domestic violence against any woman,
give it to him.
You're sad. You should seek help. And I hope to God that you never meet my daughter, because I will blow your brains out.
He don't mean that.
Yes, I do.
He don't mean that. He need to get out here and share his wisdom
it's symbolic.
and unite.
It's symbolic. It's the only people overstand power words.
We definitely do. But at the same time, they need you out here more than you need to show your love in there. Like you're nothing in there.
Well, I like to speak with Menorah.
I understand it.
And if I
feel
came to you and said, Rob, here's some shit, I don't want that. But if I go to a farmer and use a different phraseology and say, here's some manure, that farmer is going to take it with open arms as if it was gold.
No question.
So we kind of look at and we judge things from a preliminary perspective without doing research. And I researched and I watched our podcast, and they said Wadsworth is not a part of Uptown. I love it. I got to
Words
defend my
wise.
Wadsworth.
Words wise.
And yes, you should go 50-50. It depends on your household.
He's going
Stay
back.
tuned.
He's going back to an
I
interview on Power 99 where they was asking, should men feel offended if their wife want to go 50-50 or... And that was a good topic. I
really
enjoyed that
was.
topic. I was riding around, I was listening to it, and I heard my man.
And it wasn't
EA. I
just
said,
for men
there
or
he
women.
go.
It was said, is it frowned upon or is it okay to go 50-50 with your spouse or your significant other? And I put that post on my Facebook page under Eric Allen, and they got tons of comments. And Uncle O, they used to work on Power 99, a friend of mine, so we did a little blog. He was like, oh, no, that's all black people. I said, no, it's Asians on my page. It's Europeans on my page. It's a couple from Ukraine. I got some Ukrainian friends. They all demographics, so no, you can't just say it was all black. It's Muslims on my page. It's Christians on my page, and they all just gave their opinions.
What was the most popular comment?
The most popular comment was from an old school person that said that she used to watch her mom and dad sit at the table and go over budgets. And one used to say she used to watch her dad come in and give his whole check to his mom to pay the bills. But she was a housewife. But if you understand that, back in the days, my boss, she's worth about $90 million. She owned a company I work for, Credit Mediators Inc., CMI. She used to tell me stories of how she used to go in the Inquirer back in the 50s and the 60s when women couldn't even work. When it was an all-male, white, dominant society. The only ones that had a job was white men. Not black women, not white women, not Asian women, not Russian women, not German women. And she said the first thing that the man that used to sit at the desk used to say, what are you doing in here? And I forgot how she used to use what's called now revert psychology of the sale just to get his attention. Oh, go ahead, you know I'm here. Come on, I know you got some accounts that people owe you money on. And he used to say, you're so persistent, I'm going to give you a shot. And he gave her a shot. And it's symbolic. I hope y'all catch on the symbolism because I ain't going to go no further. I hope you catch on because I know people need direction. And that'll make it interesting for the comments.
There you go. Let's get them. Let's get the comments. We're going to be on your page, so you're going to help us blow up. So we can get...
Can I say two more? Just two more.
Go ahead.
A Muslim said, and this was a sister, and in the religion of Islam and Judaism, the man is supposed to take care of the woman. The woman don't have to work, but she can work if she want to. But her money is her money. His money, she said, not in today's society. If it costs for both of us to share income, being as though we watch cable together, we eat together, we use water together, and we shower together, so we should split the bills together. Now, if he makes less than me, I don't mind for a short period of time, and she said a short period of time, take on a responsibility. That's how it's supposed to be. As I asked, for all you young ladies, and there's the young girls that say, no, the men are supposed to take care of us. They will take care of you. But what if something happens to that man, the head of household? What's going to happen to you? You're going to be evicted. You're going to move back home to mommy. You're going to never know what it's like to have your own. So you can have your own, and I highly suggest that. But if you could blend two personalities together, like Peter and Paul did when they taught Peter and Paul taught the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. What is it called? Help me out. Right. When Peter and Paul taught that, is a spirituality. And I'm going to use an example. You could take water, Kool-Aid, and sugar and mix it together. It's still water, but it's 3 elements. If you could combine one into one, it's a unity. It's a marriage. So what's wrong with making income meet? That's a stereotype and a bad learned behavior. And I don't know I know where we got it from the drug dealer days. Men taking care of the women. That's
At a
where it came
cost.
from.
And that came at a
At a
cost. And that's
cost.
what y'all need to learn.
At a cost. No disrespect, and I'm not a chauvinist. I'm for women. I'm for women over men. Respectfully. And I think that's important. I'll put a woman before I put a male. Because
Yep.
9 times out of 10, women don't work with egotistic behavior like men do. We got some large egos in it, and that's a learned behavior that we adopted from being held back, where we think we got to have the best Cadillac, the best pair of sneaks.
Got to be in control.
I think
Gotta
that
be in control.
mindset is also, like you said, from the younger generation
Mhm.
because now we have this thing of everybody wants to be a boss chick and they're all this independence.
Say it
I
again.
feel like if you're a boss chick, or you're so independent, then that meeting in the middle was nothing.
I was always say that one more time because this a whole grown woman talking.
I was always
Respectfully.
taught at a young age to not be like turned on so much by fancy cars and all the things that men or people have. My mom told me those are just bills.
They're a liability.
It's just bills. It's not yours. If anything, it's an extra bill that might take away from you. So I was told to not glorify those things and to always have your own. And I think we were talking earlier. A good lesson that taught me to hold my own was I had a boyfriend that took care of me,
Mm-hmm.
but the boyfriend found somebody else that was better,
Wow.
and
Was he better?
everything was cut.
Was they better?
I
You
mean,
said
I
the
don't know
boyfriend
who
found
the
somebody
girl-
else that was better?
I mean, in his mind, clearly,
Okay.
he found someone else
Wow.
that I guess I don't know that he was happier with. But my point is, he cut all the finances off, and I was stuck. And
Wow.
that day, I vowed that would never ever happen to me again. I will always be able to hold my own.
Salute you, Queen.
So, all you boss chicks, have your own. It's okay to meet in the middle. So always make sure
You must
you're
ain't
taken
watched
care of.
Baddies yet.
No, want to watch
Oh,
that.
no, please watch it. Now, I'm just going to warn you, you'll be a little appalled, but just watch it. Just for a sociology and a psychology perspective. Just watch it.
I don't
Baddies.
like to watch those just because
And
I,
salute
it's just-
Sukiyana because that's my dog. Sukiyana is my dog.
I like
you
her in
know?
her own way. I just don't like the fact that it just glorifies how degrading
Violence. And
black
they want to talk
women
about
are.
drill music.
Yeah.
Twerking is worse than drill music.
All day. That's a learned behavior.
My camera guy said, no, take the drill music, keep twerking.
Right?
Yep.
I'm so happy y'all invited me.
Listen, I'm so happy you came. Like I said, it's an open door policy for you, bro.
I
Whatever,
appreciate that, Rob.
whoever
Keep doing
guests
what
you want to
do,
bring
man.
on, it's the only way that we learn to come together.
I
It could
just-
be Somerville, Wadsworth, South Philly, West Philly. We all here to unite, bro. That's the only way we
You
get
know what
better.
I gather all the time when they see me
What's that?
and they're older than me? They want to tell a story. They want to relive their childhood. And it fascinates me. It fascinates me like Sandman, a known rapper, when I did on Philly Uncut Part 2. Watch it. I challenge you. It's on Tubi. They're on global platforms. I didn't know that the Eagles was called the Beagles.
I didn't know that
Until
myself.
he quoted it. We did the Haines Street. I interviewed every old head from Haines Street on there. They all on there. Every top OG from Haines Street is on there. Only ones that's not on there is Tank, my super OG, and Rick. Rick Jones. He wasn't. Rick was home, or I forgot where he was at. But watch it, and because it's like 4,000 comments that say, I didn't know the Eagles was named Beagles before it was, because he a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So he would call himself grinding us up. The Beagles? I'm like, we ain't no Beagles. He was like, that was your name. So I'm like, no, it wasn't. He was like, yes, it was. And then when I did my research, I'm like, whoa. So they go back to this.
Homework.
Wait, no, I got the best page. Wait a minute. And if y'all ended it, you can end it on this one.
And on that note,
on that note,
don't forget. Well, first of all, thank you, EA, for coming. It was a
thank
pleasure.
you. I can't wait to put this episode when you put it out on my platforms. I can't wait to share it.
Yes.
And I want to bring y'all on my show. My show is on Fridays at Glockaware, every Friday from 6 to 8. My show is more like a variety show. We do go YouTube live. Give y'all, we're going to talk outside of this. But I want to bring y'all on just as movers and shakers from Wadsworth. Respectfully. And I would like that because you'll get a little feel of vibes. And we have fun.
listen, I don't question that at all. Every time I was invited to something you did, like you was next door. You was at
Right.
the pool hall. Y'all did a little video shoot over there, act like we gambling
Right.
the whole nine.
Right.
I was involved in that. Like I
Yeah.
said, I was involved at the
Because you're a
the playground.
lobbyist without the politics.
I'm gonna be there. My people call me, I'm gonna be there no matter what
I
it is.
appreciate you,
It ain't
man.
about $1, it's about unity to me. Everything is about unity.
We
Thank you
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Coming to Everything Philly podcast. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like,
Subscribe,
share,
follow.
comment.
Comment.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.